Welcome racers, this is Badgerman, and today we are going to tackle the GTWS, the Gran Turismo World Series Nations Cup Test Season 2, the first race. This was recorded on Friday, April 1st, but it was an April Fool's joke. The racing was pretty good, actually. And we're going to enter here. You see the cars, the DS3 Racing 2A GTI, but the car of choice in this lobby was the Renault Clio RS220 trophy. Literally everyone used it. There was no one who wasn't in that car. I decided to not go for a livery because I was more focused on my driving. And so, we decided to go with that instead. But we are literally ranked third of all those drivers here with the DR. It's all AS, but the listing basically shows us where we are ranked. And let's actually jump into my qualifying time. So this is my run-up. I tried to get a good exit out of the final corner here, the final proper corner. Obviously that right-hander isn't really much. I look back to see what's going on there. Just overtook Pixel Big Kitty behind me there on the lap before. So I knew Pixel Big Kitty wasn't that fast, so I was not worried that I was going to be overtaken. We try to stay to the inside as much as we can. Almost dip a wheel onto the dirt there. We are in P4 right now, but first sector, under the bridge, purple. 2/10 up on our own time. This could be a 55-0. I've done 54.7s in practice. We take the uphill corner. It wasn't the best run, I have to admit. I struggled with that corner quite a bit. To really get it right, to really maximize it, I struggled. But we improve another 10th on our fastest lap before this. So 3/10 up, now final corner. And it went quite well. I think I lost a little bit of time here, but not actually much. And we're 4/10 away from P1, but make that less than a 10th. I lost like half a 10th in the final corner there, but that's okay. You know, in the end we're P3, a 10th away from pole, starting directly behind pole position, and nothing was going to change here in the remaining 25 seconds of the session. So we're staying in P3, German directly in front of us, but I had an ace up my sleeve. So we're heading into the final, and we're going to see the grid line up again. It's going to be pretty boring on the livery front, needs to be said. I love this intro. The blue sort of screen coming over, the red obviously for the manufacturer series, and you see the grid there. We're on the right side, the second car there. This is Uwe in P1, also a German. Don't know him, but yeah, he was pretty good. Moses in P2, then myself in P3, and a Danish driver, La Liga Hutters in P4. We're not going to look at the rest. It was a standing start. I didn't realize until I saw this. I was like, okay, I need the TCS here on 1, and that was the trick up my sleeve. I had a really good reaction time, and look at what's happening. Down to 0, because this car doesn't need traction control. But for the start, it's a good idea. Uwe tries blocking me off. I realize that very late. Go to the outside. He goes onto the dirt, has to start braking, and we're into the lead. Moses tries it round the outside, goes way too deep, and we are still in the lead. Uwe P2, Moses gone down outside the top 8, and the Dane La Liga in P3. We're heading up the hill for the first time. You're going to see the whole race. I'm not going to cut a single second out of it. Just letting you know, because I only did one race, because this one, I mean, a little bit of a spoiler alert, it went quite well. Heading to the final sector here. You want to brake just before the curb there. We do that. Get the car turned around. Uwe is looking a bit dangerous, but he's also under pressure from the Dane, and I look behind, and I see them fighting. I thought, well, this is my chance right here. I really started focusing up a lot more. Take every single thousandth of a second that I can out of these two, and get it through the banked corner here. And you see how the gap opens up, 1.3. And I thought, this is my moment right here. This is my chance. They were battling. They were, fighting with each other. I can just try to run away here. Unfortunately, they stopped fighting after the start of lap 2, really. After turn 1, lap 2. And so, at that point, it was just Uwe in the hunt trying to get me. and it was just a constant battle. And yeah, I was really focused. I was looking back all the time. Here, Uwe makes a mistake, goes way too deep into the final corner, and boom, 1.9 seconds. I look back, I'm like, what's going on? Where is he? 1.9, wonderful. I thought this is a chance now. He messes up twice. Once battling with La Liga, really not his fault. Well, he messes up 3 times. His start, battling with La Liga on lap 1 and 2, and then that mistake at the end of lap 2. 2-second gap. I thought, you know what? Surely I just need to bring this home at this point. But I was thinking way too far ahead because the lap is deceptively short. Like, it feels shorter than it actually is because it is the test course. It's like, what, a kilometer long or something? It feels like it's just a kilometer long. It's probably a bit more. But it feels short, and 1 minute lap times. But 1 minute lap time on a 10-lap race still means about a 10-minute race. Slightly shorter than that. And so, you see here, Uwe got half a second back already, and in fact a bit more because I was taking it too cautiously. So I was like, okay, well, we gotta push a bit more. I also had headwind here on the main straight, which I looked at and thought, okay, I need to make sure he's not in my slipstream into turn 1. Because the headwind obviously makes it so the slipstream is more powerful. If you look at the wind indicator in the top right. But yeah, 1.3, it was quite good. But you see Uwe's fastest lap on the left side there, 55.2. Yeah, I think he was the quicker driver. But as you may realize from the title, I had the consistency over him. He made the mistake at the start. He then got vulnerable against La Liga, against the Dane in P3. They were battling, and then he made the mistake here at the end of lap 1. And I just didn't make any mistakes. For me, it was just trying to be as consistent as possible. I know I had good pace. Now I just need to get that pace down onto the track every single lap. And I gotta give a huge shout out to Mr. MCA. Some of you probably know him as a Gran Turismo content creator. I'm using his tune for this, so I think I'm not going to give him any points, not that I could, but I think he deserves a huge shout out for that because that tune really helped me. And Uwe is within a second again, almost. I thought, okay, well, this is going to get close. He generally carried a bit more speed into this corner here, and then I thankfully took it a bit better this time around. He messed it up slightly, but he got some more on exit. So it was always a bit of a give and take. You know, he was gaining a 10th or 2 there, then I was gaining a 10th or 2 here. At this point, we were both very consistent, but it was the early moments that helped me a lot. And we're already halfway through this race, so that's how quickly that goes. And still, 55.1 from Uwe. My best is a 55.4. So he is 0.3 a lap quicker at his best compared to my best at this point. But he also makes a mistake. I actually get slightly on the dirt there, but you can do that on the inside. It doesn't hurt the car that much because all the force is on the outside. All the weight is on the outside tires anyway, so you can actually touch the grass there. It's not that bad. It's not desirable, but, you know, it doesn't hurt you that much. As you saw, I lost basically no time from it. You know, a slight wheel or 2 being dipped onto the grass there. It doesn't hurt you. Shouldn't do it, but, you know, pain is... The pain from it is limited. End of lap 6, 1.1 seconds. I always try to prioritize my exits, you know, not caring too much about entry. Because he was too far away. If he's closer, I have to worry about my entry. Because if I'm too early on the brakes, he could send it up the inside, and that's P1 gone. But he's 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 seconds behind. So I thought, you know what, I can prioritize the exits, make sure I get that right, because this car doesn't accelerate very well. So I did. I focused on that exclusively, made sure I got the exits on point, accelerated as early as I could, gained all the time there for the most part. Not always. This corner was still a bit of a puzzle to me. End of lap 7, still the gap 1.3, and this is when the nerves really started kicking in. I was like, man, can I actually win this? This would be my first GTWS, my first Gran Turismo World Series win on GT7. I think I had one win on GT Sport in the FIA races as they were known at the time. Hopefully the FIA comes back as a partner, by the way. But yeah, I had one win on GT Sport. I don't even have any footage of it or even remember it. I just know that I did. I don't even remember anything about it. But this would be huge for me if I can bring this home. Lap 8, we're halfway through. 1.7, 1.8 is really growing now. He's making a couple more mistakes in the back. Then I mess up that corner, it's 1.5 again. So, again, always a bit of a give and take, but he was never close enough, at least not in the first 8 laps, to overtake me. And I think he may have also been driving with one eye in the rearview mirror. So he was probably a little bit worried that maybe La Liga was going to try to get him and get P2 off of him. So he was, I would imagine, rather content with second place. 1.71. Again, this corner I had down at this point. I had the same setup every time, you know, same approach, same target speed that I was always aiming for, which was 135 kilometers an hour at the apex. And so I had my consistent run through there. Had my turn-in point, my braking point, everything was there. So turn 1 was the least of my worries, or well, technically turn 2. The rest, yeah, that was a different story, but 1.5 now, 1 lap to go. I thought, surely I can't lose this. Surely I will not lose this on the final lap here with a 1.5 second lead. And we head through turn 1, slide it into turn 2, and I thought this is not the best way to do it. But it was good enough. Again, we're hugging the inside there like it's my favorite grandma. 1.7 now. So we even gained 0.2. Again, the consistent setup into turn 2, that is, really helped. Up the hill once more. And again, yeah, that worked. That went quite well. 1.3. I took it very safely there. I lost a bit of time, actually, to Uwe, who was trying the best he could. But we head to the final corner once more, and now is the time we can celebrate. I finally get my first GT World Series win in the GT1 class as well on this weird race at Alsace Test Course. And I thought at this point, I was like, how many points am I going to get from this? Because usually if I finish in like the top 5, top 6, I always got like 150. If I finished at the bottom, I got like 100, so I thought maybe 170, 180 if I'm lucky. Well, we're going to see in just a second. It's going to flip over any moment now. I actually got 202 points from this. I think this might be my first score of over 200. Obviously, I put the GG in the chat there. You can see that on the screen. And then Uwe came back and, being the fair sportsman that he is, came back with a GG Badger. Sportsmanship all around. We love to see it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with the manufacturer. I came back with good race, Uwe. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with the manufacturer's race. That will be Group 4 Yamagiwa. I think this should suit me well. Hope to see you guys there for another video. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.